Okay. Hello, everyone, and welcome. We have a small audience today, but we've got good information coming from Karasch and looking forward to it. So my name is Lori Christine, and I'm the coordinator of academic accessibility at the University of Virginia. I am also currently serving as the chair of the VHEAP Captioning Committee and am honored to represent this group of 11 folks that have worked very hard to bring you the VHEAP Captioning Initiative. As you are aware, the Virginia Higher Education Accessibility Partners, commonly referred to as VHEAP, has been working for nearly a year to identify and make available vendors who can provide quality and effective captioning, both live and post-production, and audio description services to K-12 schools, post-secondary schools and institutions, and state agencies across the Commonwealth. 8 vendors have been identified to provide these services. These vendors have entered into agreements with UVA, agreeing to state terms and conditions, UVA's data protection addendum, and have undergone a UVA IT security review. UVA will serve as the administrator of these agreements, while the Virginia Higher Education Procurement Consortium and the VHEAP Captioning Committee will manage the initiative. Today's demonstration by Karasch, will provide you with the information to get started using their services. Through the VHEAP Captioning Initiative, Karasch offers a set of services involving human intervention, thereby meeting the effective communication requirement of the ADA. They also offer other services which you are welcome to use. However, these are considered outside of this initiative. More information on the VHEAP Captioning Initiative can be found under the Initiatives tab on the VHEAP website, vheap.org. The demonstration today is being recorded and will be available on the Karasch website through the VHEAP Captioning Initiative site. Karasch is also providing the live captioning today. And with that, I'll hand it over to Fred for the presentation. All yours, Fred.
Great, thank you. Appreciate you inviting us to give this demo. And thank you to everyone for joining today, and also if you're watching this afterwards, for watching the presentation. So yeah, I am Fred Gasser from Karasch and Associates. I'm the Director of Operations for Karasch. We've been in business for about 40 years. We've been doing captioning since probably about the year 2000. So we've had lots of experience, especially for colleges and universities and students, and then also for any sort of government institutions or council meetings, events and trainings, that kind of thing. So we've handled all sorts of captioning requests and types and in different industries. So we're more than willing and capable to handle anything that you might request of us in the captioning regard. We are based in Westchester, Pennsylvania, but we do captioning all across the United States. We have hundreds of captioners all across the country. So we can handle any remote request at any time for any service, for any event. So for anybody who orders service with us, the first time that you order service, you will be assigned one of our client relationship managers. And their role is to basically take care of anything that you need. So if you want a demo, if you want to test something, if you want to schedule something, if you have a question or a concern, they would be your #1 point of contact. And you'll get their email, you'll get their phone number. So anytime that you have a question, email or call them, and they will be able to handle that for you, or a request. So once you have a request, you can simply email it to them, or we do have some online portals, which I'll show in a little bit, that you can use as well. But once we get that request, you will then get an email response from us that we received it and we're working on it. working on getting the captioner assigned to the job. Once the captioner is assigned, you will get another email confirming it again. Here's what we're going to do. We have the captioner assigned, just to make sure that we have all the information that we need and that everybody's confirmed on your end and on our end as to what's getting covered. So then it becomes, where is the caption going to be displayed? So if you're using Zoom like we're using today, we can use the Zoom API and put the captions right on the bottom of the screen. We can also provide a URL link to those same captions that people can then view the captions off of that. And sometimes that works better for the deaf and hard of hearing individuals, just because, and I'll show it here, they get a lot more of the text than what you see in Zoom. And using that platform, as you see, I just did, I increased the font size. So if they have a visual issue as well, this works really well because they can increase it here to as big as they want, and I'll just over exaggerate. You can make it huge. So a lot of our clients love this platform rather than just having it in Zoom, because in Zoom, you just get the 2 lines at the bottom. This platform gives you all the text that the captioner has captioned. And then you can also change colors of it too, if they wanted to do something like that. We also, other than Zoom, we can do captioning in Teams. We can do captioning in WebEx. We can do captioning in Adobe Connect. So there's a lot of different platforms out there to do remote captioning that we can connect to. So if you're using a different platform than the ones I said, you would reach out to your client relationship manager and let them know what you're using, and we'll let you know the process to connect those captions. But we will always send you that link separately so that your individuals can then use that, regardless of what platform you're using. You'll always have that. Once the captioning is completed, we do share the notes that were taken during that event. So they'll be emailed to you, or you can log into our portal to download them. Those will also be available. And then, of course, after all that's done, then it's the invoice that you'll get. We invoice weekly. So you'll get an invoice usually on Fridays for the stuff we did the week prior. So what I'd like to show you now is one of our portals.
Right, can I just ask just a quick clarifying
Yes.
question? When you said notes will automatically be sent, are you referring notes to the transcript for that session will automatically be emailed out?
Yes, so the live captioning, that'll be sent as a Word doc to whoever needs it. So if it's a student in the classroom, they'll have it to study from. If it's a meeting or something, you can have it and use it as notes to the meeting if you wanted to, things like that.
Great, thank you.
Yeah. And just bear with me for a second. There we go. So now what I'm going to show you is this is a platform we use more for our students, which might be of use to some of you attending or watching. Each of the students and each of our clients will have access to this portal. We call this our student portal. So what they'll see in here, and this is my admin site, so you'll see a lot of different classes in here, but the students will just see the list of their classes, and as they go into it, here's a good one. They'll then see, here's the note for each one of the classes that we captioned. So these notes are stored on here for as long as you need. So for students, it's usually for the whole semester. We have some students who say, can you keep them up there for the year? If it's a business meeting, you might want us to keep them there for longer, but they're up there for as long as you want. So at any time, the student or you can log in and then come in here and download these files whenever you need them. The other nice thing we do in here for students especially is that there's a join button up here that they can click to join the captioning session. So this is important if we are hosting it. So if we're hosting the Zoom room, we can program the Zoom room that they don't have to worry about getting the Zoom link or the Zoom invitation. They just sign in here, go to their class and click that join button and they automatically get put into the Zoom room. We can program that as well for other platforms if we needed to, but right now we currently use Zoom when we're hosting. And that's just a nice thing for the students so they don't have to remember or search in their email to find the links for that kind of thing. So then the other platform I want to show is one that's more for the people scheduling. Just give me a second to get this running. So this platform we call it Philo. And again, I kind of signed into this as an admin, more as a client. But when you sign in, you'll see a calendar. That's the first screen that comes up. And in that calendar, you'll have little buttons in here for each session that you have scheduled with us. So if you were to click the button, you would then see the details of the session, the start time, the end time, any notes that are in there, the topic, the captioner assigned, that kind of thing. I don't have it on this one. I'll have to try to sign in as a different account, but on the left side, you would also have a button that says schedule services. And that gives you a form. So as I said earlier, you can either email your client manager or you can sign into here and fill out a form to order services. So basically the form says, what's the name of the event? What date is it? What time does it start? What time does it end? Is it reoccurring? Like is it, it's a class, and then a box for any notes. And then you can also upload prep files on there. So if you have a syllabus or a PowerPoint or anything like that that you want to upload to event, you can do that through this platform as well.
Brad,
So,
I'm just gonna hop in here real quick and just mention again that you're batting in place of Sierra. So last minute lineup change. So just to kind of set the stage for folks that you might be showing an empty calendar because you didn't have a lot of prep time. So.
Yes, thank you. Let me see if I can get into what the client side one looks like. Might be a little bit more difficult for me to get to that. But when you, when any of you call and get in touch with your client relationship manager, they'll show you how that works and they'll train you on it. So to get a much better understanding what that looks like. Actually, what I can do here, I'm gonna do it this way. I pulled up this PowerPoint that we had used. Can everybody see that?
Yes.
Okay, let me redo this. I think I need to do the screen to make it a little bigger. So this is a screenshot of what that looks like. So here's that event on the calendar. And then here's that link for new request. And then what's also included in here is a section for your invoices. So you can view your old invoices, view your current invoices. You can also pay an invoice through there if needed. But this is what the client side would look like when you log in.
Quick question for you, Fred.
Mm-hmm.
Is this what the student sees? So would the student also see client invoices?
No, this is what the person scheduling the event sees. So if that is going to be the student, then yeah, they would they would see this if we gave them access to this.
Okay,
So the coordinator at the school would probably be the most person that would see this, not the students. But we do actually have a student portal as well for this. But we currently we're pushing them to that other portal I showed earlier, because
okay,
that's where their notes are. That's how they join their session. Eventually, in our roadmap, we want to combine those two into what you're looking at now, so that the student would kind of log into the same place you are, but they wouldn't see the same things on the left side here. They would have their own tabs and links that they needed.
sounds great. Thank you.
Sure. So as Lori, as you said, I'm kind of filling in for Sierra. And you mentioned at the beginning what the agenda was. Did I hit everything? I'm not sure. If you could just refresh my memory.
Yeah, Mark and Danielle, do you have anything off the top of your head that you would like him to hit?
When, I guess, maybe if you can just talk about the process, if, so during a live captioning, when there's content that's provided back a file that you're sharing in a Word format back on this transcript, if there's errors or mistakes in that transcript, what's the process for remediation there? And is there any added fees for that?
Great question. So what our captioners do, especially when it's a student in the classroom, after the session is over, they'll go back through their transcript and they'll know, like when they're captioning, they'll know if there was some term they didn't have the correct spelling for, or maybe they misstroked something or it didn't come out right, and they'll fix that. They won't go through it in its entirety, but they know when they made an error, and they'll generally go back and fix that before they email it or upload it to that portal.
Okay.
So there's that first round of checks.
Mm-hmm.
If it's a transcript that needs to be 100% correct, meaning every single you knows, that kind of thing in it. So maybe you're using it to post it to YouTube, where we need to be more correct. You can bring that back to us, and then we'll fix it. We'll fix the timing in as well with that regard, but that is an extra charge to get the extra, get it to be 100% accurate.
Okay. And what would be the turnaround time to get that 100% accuracy?
Well, it could, I mean, you could tell me or tell us you need it in a day. That increases the price, of course.
Mm-hmm.
But generally it's a week, 5 business days to get it over.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Yep.
So I'm just looking at the agenda that I sent Sierra, and basically the first thing on the list was how to get started with your firm. So you're saying today that folks should just contact Sierra if they want to start working with your company. Is that correct?
Yeah, I believe that's on our page.
Yep.
Her contact information. Yes. So yeah, contact her. She will ask some initial questions just to get to kind of know the account, and then assign that account to one of our CRMs. And then that person will be the main contact going forward.
Okay, that sounds great. And then the services that your firm is offering through the captioning initiative are the live captioning remote services. I'm assuming you have other services available as well. And you can work with folks if they want to use those. They're just outside of the initiative.
Yes, yeah, our main service here is the remote cart captioning. But yeah, we, as Mark said, that transcription, if you want 100% accurate transcription, we can do that for you. And that doesn't necessarily have to be on a live event where we did captioning.
Mm-hmm.
If you have a recording or a live recording that you need captioning for or need a transcription for, like it's pre-recorded, you can send that to us and we can do the same thing. So
Okay.
it doesn't have to be captioned live first. We can get you captions after the fact.
So post-production, you do offer that, but
Yes, yeah, exactly. Post-production.
not through the initiative.
Yes, not through the, should I list those services? Do you want me to now or?
No, that's okay.
Okay.
That's okay. I'll work with Sierra. We've got a couple web pages that for your information, so we want to make sure they're right. And we can list other services available on your additional information page. So
Okay.
we're happy to do that.
Great.
I think you've gone over account creation. We would look at it both from a centralized and decentralized perspective. So that would just be, I'm assuming, just working with Sierra, but you are able to work with both a centralized account. For instance, George Mason has a central source for scheduling all the captions and things like that. But UVA, each department does their own. So, but we would
Yes.
like to have some oversight so we know
Right.
what's going
Yes.
on. So is that something that your company can handle?
Yes. So the portal that I showed you is more specific to the user, but in the background of that, we can tie 5 users to one UVA account so that
Okay.
when UVA says, I want to report on everybody who ordered, we can then produce that,
Okay, that's
which
great.
I think is what you're asking. Yeah.
Yes, yes. And is it easy for an admin of that type of account to add other people, or do we need to go through Sierra?
The process for getting onto those portals, there will be a link that anybody can use to sign up. And then there's approval process on our back end that we go through to make sure that that person is actually a valid person.
Okay,
So it might be, if someone signs up for UVA, we might reach out to the UVA head contact and say, is this person approved to be in here? And, they say yes or no, and then we allow them access.
okay, that sounds great. You mentioned that your roadmap includes kind of the combination of those two portals that you showed. Is there anything else on your roadmap that you could share with us?
Yeah, well, it's more services outside of the scope here, but one of them is that transcription piece we talked about. We are working on a portal to make it easier for clients to upload files to us. And the whole process to do that. So that's another avenue that we have going on. We're always doing the accessibility for the websites. We're always reviewing that and making that better, keeping them in line with the industry. So things like that we're doing as well.
Great. Well, thank you. Danielle, Mark, any questions from you guys?
I don't think anything further from me. I think you've hit them, Fred. Thank you.
Okay, thanks.
I'm good.
Danielle, I heard I'm good. So
Yeah, thank you.
put me on that one, Danielle. And those of you who are watching this later, just send your questions to Sierra, and I know she'll get back with you in bingo time. So
Yeah. And if I could just add one more thing to close, our company's initiative is to make sure that every event, session, meeting, etc., is accessible to everybody. And with that goal, if anybody has a question or doesn't know how to do that, or something new pops up, reach out to us, reach out to Sierra. We're here to help you. We're here to consult with any question that you need. It might not be something that's in, that you might not think is in our service realm, but give us a call. We'll help you. We'll figure it out. We do that with all of our clients. So just keep that in mind too, that anything that you need, just give us a call or shoot us an email.
thanks, Fred.
Yep.
I'm going to go ahead and say thank you and stop the recording now.
Okay. Thank you, everybody.